My name is Becky Hill, and I am pleased to be here today with two of our superstars in the industry, Carter Breed and Devin Forbes. We want to welcome both of them, and I know that each of us are going to hear some amazing tools and techniques and secrets, hopefully, of how they have launched their real estate careers and how they have continued to be successful in business. And we're also focusing today on the importance of designations in your business. So I want to welcome everyone from across the state. I know we have several classrooms that are queued in the classroom, so it's my honor to be with you and to be with these two fine gentlemen. Let me start by just giving you a little bit of background information on each of them, starting with J. Carter Breed, J. Carter Breed Properties here in Houston, Texas. He was in the industry for about 20 years before he decided to sort of launch his own real estate company, and that is J. Carter Breed Properties. And the goal of launching his own company was to provide more of a concierge type of service to his clients. And so they have, over the years, they have expanded and gone beyond just the purchase or marketing of properties for sale. And now they're pleased to be offering other types of services to all of their clients, including relocation services and also residential property management. So I'm sure you're very pleased with that transition.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us, and that is exactly right. We've expanded. It's going well.
Wonderful, wonderful. He is also one of our stars as far as designations are concerned, and believes in the power of learning new techniques and adding new tools to your arsenal. So I just want to mention some of his designations that he has earned. The Accredited Buyer Representative designation, more commonly known maybe as ABR, the Accredited Luxury Home Specialist, the Certified Negotiating Expert. He's a graduate of the Realtor Institute and, of course, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and probably the one designation all of us love to be able to refer to in our business, which is being a realtor. So welcome,
Thank you very much.
And then let me also introduce Devin Forbes. Devin is, I think it's appropriate, probably the name of the company that he is with in Round Rock, Texas. It is called Amazing Realty, and he really is a remarkable young man as far as what he has accomplished in just a few short years in the real estate industry. And he could probably be a poster child for designations here at Champions with all of the designations that he has, programs that he has taken through us. And I've had the honor of being his instructor on 2 or 3 occasions in some of the live broadcasts when he was doing designations. But the Amazing Realty is in Round Rock, and their goal, and Devin's goal particularly, is to provide exceptional and also personalized service to all of his clients. And eventually he's working on starting to build a team, and is also working on getting his broker's license, so he's to be commended for that. But what he wants to provide to his customers are first class customer service. He is recognized locally because of his expertise and his ability to stay up to date on what is happening in the industry. He's only been licensed since 2016, which makes him a young superstar in the industry. And let me just mention the designations that he has earned. He currently holds his Seller Representative Specialist, the Accredited Luxury Home Specialist, the Accredited Buyer Representative, as well as the New Home Construction for Buyers Agents certification. Also, he has earned his Senior Real Estate Specialist designation and has his Military Relocation Professional certification, and is also his Pricing Strategy Advisor certification, and has also taken the Real Estate Real Estate Negotiating Expert Program, which is similar to the Negotiating Expert Program that we used to have that Carter has as well. So without further ado, I want to welcome both gentlemen, and we appreciate so much you being here and spending some time with us so that our students and our customers, the people who attend Champions, can learn from some of the experts in the industry. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank
having
you
us.
for your time and having us.
You bet. So let's start, and I'll start with you, Carter. Okay.
Sure.
Just a little bit of background. When you started in real estate, what were one or two of the activities that you think gave you a jump start to your new career?
I would tell you that I had some advantages, I believe. First of all, my sweet mother was a broker and had been in the business for a number of years. And so when I got into it, she was my mentor. And so I think that probably helped me along. And then I really jumped in, and I knew that networking and being in front of people was the only way that you're going to grow your business.
Sure.
So I immediately started doing as many open houses as I could, because I knew that's where buyers were going to be, and I started trying to be out at every organization and being in front of people any way I could.
Okay, so certainly networking is one of the greatest ways always to create business opportunities for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that. And Devin, same question for you. When you started out, okay, what were one or two activities that you think helped the most?
Well, for me, I would definitely say reflecting. From starting delivering newspapers, all the way to working fast food, joining the military, having that diverse background of always serving my clients, my friends, my family, always having that need and that passion, and always wanting to continue that. So that got me in my journey in real estate. It just was a helping hand, if you would. For me, building upon it would be the new builds. I love my new builds.
Okay.
Love doing open houses. I didn't know anybody where I lived, so for some people that are starting out in the business and maybe move to a new town, get with a builder. Do some open houses. Get with someone in your office. Do an open house for them, and do that networking. Get with vendors. Co-brand. The marketing. Meet different people that are going to help you build yourself and become an expert. The challenges that, for me, I overcame them by networking and building upon relationships for the future.
It's great to have that strong support system behind you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It builds confidence.
It does, and that's important when you're in sales, right?
Correct.
Well, I know that you and I were talking before the broadcast started, so I know for you, Devin, you don't currently have a team, but you're attracting people to your company with the prospect of, after you get your broker's license, of actually forming a team at the office.
Yes, so it is something, I do have my LLC I'm dabbling with. So it's called Forbes Realty Group. I'm just the only one in the group. But that too will change. I have an amazing broker. So
Wonderful.
I plan on being an associate broker under her.
Okay.
And working that avenue. She's a mentor, a godsend to me. She's one of my best friends as well as my broker and one of my confidants and mentors and coaches.
Well, wonderful. And I know, Carter, you mentioned your mother as being a mentor for you when you started. But let me ask you, very similarly, as far as teams, did you start out in the business with a team?
No, I started out, and as I said, my mother was my mentor, and we started out with Henry S. Miller way back when.
I remember Henry S. Miller.
After a bit of time there, we felt like Remax was on the move, and so we moved to Remax shortly after, and we were separate. We weren't a team, and I just started working it. I formed a team. I'm guessing it was probably somewhere between 3 and 5 years later as my business began to develop.
Okay.
And I've kept a team all along. Now that we've formed a new company, we're probably moving away from the team approach. I still have a couple of admin people, and then we do a number of things in our business that I'll share. But I think now at this point, I really enjoy mentoring myself and helping other agents grow. Yeah. So we're probably moving a little bit away from the team in the future and just building agents in our company.
Okay, so the whole office will be the team.
Yeah.
The whole office will be the team. But going back to when you first formed the team, what were the first individuals that you felt that you needed, and what made you realize you needed to have some individuals added to create the team to start with?
So the one thing I know that I'm pretty good at is I'm a pretty good salesperson.
Okay,
and
great.
So I know that I needed somebody to help me with all the stuff that we have to do. And so my first hire was an assistant.
Okay.
And to assist me in getting paperwork together, getting listings together, just putting the packages together, putting the files together, and keeping up with everything. And so after that, then and I'd still work with buyers, and I still do. I work with buyers and sellers to this day, a lot. And then I added buyer's agents as we went along, and of course kept the assistant. And I basically have 2 assistants now, 2.5, and I think Vicky is out there watching, so hi Vicky.
Hi Vicky.
And one of them, and so I have Candy and Vicky and Chris that are admin, and then a number of agents.
A number of agents. Were any of your, or today, are any of your admin people also licensed, or?
Vicky is working on it,
Okay.
And Candy is, we're trying to work through that as well.
And in the beginning, when you first formed your team, your first administrative assistant?
I think my first administrative assistant was licensed, and then he became an agent, or he was licensed and became a sales agent.
Became a sales agent.
And then he moved out, and then actually, most recently, he just came back to the team, and Carlos Ibarra, and we hired him back probably 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay, well that's wonderful. And if you could pinpoint 1 or 2 things that the team allowed you to do to enhance your own production, what would that be?
It allowed me to, and I've got to share this. So many years ago, Jimmy Franklin said to me, "You think you're the only person that can buy or sell a house, help somebody buy or sell a house?" and he goes, "You're just too arrogant." He says, "You need to get buyer's agents, because you know what? They can do a great job." And so I listened, and then I started doing that, and that allowed me the opportunity to go out and prospect for more listings. And then we got more buyers, and that grew them, and it grew the listings. So it allowed me to kind of be more of a listing agent, still work with buyers, but concentrate more on building that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Devin, I know that is something in your future. Have you given thought to where would you start in building your team?
So I already have. I have transaction coordinators.
Okay, wonderful.
to keep me going. I'm not more of a back office person. Anyone that gets to know me, I don't have time, but there's other people that really enjoy that portion. So we're gonna let them handle that business, and I'm gonna do what I do best, which is handle my business, which is about being in the front, shaking hands, passing out business cards, closing deals.
There you go.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, all the luck to you in building your team. I know it's going to be tremendously successful. Let me ask you, Devin, just shifting gears a little bit. When it comes to prospecting, do you try to contact any of the expired listings in your market area as possible listings in your prospecting?
For me, I think that is a untapped resource that I don't personally do, but I think it's another great avenue that I can expand upon. But me, I like to stop for a good for sale by owner, so I always break for those. Something I'm good at. So, you know, I will look into that and on building my future with growing my business, because I do think it is something that can be done. I hear it being done all the time.
Oh, sure.
I just personally don't do it in my business today.
Okay. And you know, there are some agents that really love that part of the prospecting because there's all kinds of ways to prospect.
Absolutely.
And a lot of agents love that. Okay. And then some agents, it's just not for them.
Right.
So let me ask Carter the same question.
I do not. It's just not. I decided a long time ago that I am not great at knocking on doors, going door to door. I just didn't enjoy it. Done it, but I didn't enjoy it. And I believe there are a lot of agents out there prospecting for expired listings. So that's not something that I've pursued very hard. Now, if I know of something and you know, I might pursue it on a one-off basis.
Oh, sure.
But generally speaking, no, that's not. There's so many different things that we can do in our business to prospect. I've just chosen other ones.
To do other types of prospecting. And in fact, you mentioned a few minutes ago in one of your first responses, you mentioned that you did open houses and things of that nature. So tell us about your experience with open houses and how often.
Sure, I started
you
out
may
doing
do
open
those.
houses, and I've told people over the years, I built my business on open houses. So it was very good. I got to know the neighborhood. I got to know the people. The neighbors would come in, buyers would come in. And one of the things that I did that I felt like, I learned, and I probably learned it at Champions, is to...
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, is that get to know that market, run all the available homes on the market, and be prepared so when they come in, you know the market, you know what's out there for questions. And I did, and I got to know that, and I really think that helped build the business. But we did a lot of other things as well.
Oh, sure.
And now I tell the agents that work with me and others, you know, that's just a great market because you're going to get buyers. Buyers are going to come in.
Buyers are going to come in. And what do you do to promote your open houses?
So we do some social media. We will typically do a video and maybe in front of the house like a day or so before. And we'll post that, and then we will do lots of signs. And I have said that you can't have too many open house signs, and it is true. And you know, I do see every once in a while where an agent will have one or two signs, one in front of the house and one at the end of the street. Well, you know what? You need one at the next street over and the next street over back to a busy intersection so that you can force traffic there.
That's right.
And I think that's important. So we do that, and then we'll send an email out every once in a while to the agents or to, especially in reverse prospecting, to those agents that might have a particular client.
Okay, wonderful. And Devin, same question. Tell us about your experience with open houses, because I remember in one of your responses earlier you mentioned you do them. So tell us what prompted you to start doing the open houses and how frequently you do them, and like how do you promote those open houses and everything. So just,
Absolutely.
You bet.
So for me, I don't like doing things by myself. I'm a team player. So with that being said, I'll start doing the team playing. I will get co-brand with a lender.
Okay.
Didn't have a lot of money starting out in the business, so didn't have food. Wanted to do something and promote to get people, whether it be a little gift card or some food or something. What Mr. Breed was saying, I would do my marketing and my signs. I love doing a lot of signs. 3 or 4 is not going to cut it. I do about 25. and people that have helped me, people that do help me, thank you, because all the work that's involved doing that. But we set them out 3 days prior, because I want to catch those people coming and going home days in advance, so they can start selecting their friends and family and who they want to pick for their neighbor. And then, I door knock too. I'll go down 5 down, 10 down, because I want a new listing too.
Sure.
Because so I double dip on that sense that yes, I'm doing an open house, but I may get a new sell out of it, and another listing right next door or a few houses down. So I'm always open for growing the business any way I can.
Sure.
And for me, it's been very exciting. But I also like to take a new agent that's trying to come in the business too, especially now. And some that I've helped, there's been quite a few. Thank you for helping me and letting me help you, show you how to do an open house, on a shoestring budget. And I want to thank all the many people that help me, because I can't do it by myself.
So one of the things you're doing in promoting them is actually inviting the neighbors.
Absolutely.
Right? You go door to door and invite them, because a lot of agents will send notices out to the neighbors and everything. But that's remarkable that you go door to door to invite the neighbors.
It's a little courtesy saying, hey, we're going to do this. And we do it for a few reasons, not just to, try to let them come to our open house and stuff, but it's to, hey, we're going to have a lot of cars coming.
Yeah.
Because I dream big. When I do open houses, I normally have 15 plus people.
That's good.
And, all these other agents are like, how do you get so many? And I'm like, how do you not? It's like, it's planning and executing. It's not, you just don't say, oh, I'm going to do open house and do it today. No, you've got to plan for this, and you need to plan about a week out.
And let me ask you one thing to piggyback on that. When you put the signs out 3 days in advance,
Yes, ma'am.
do they advertise the day that the open house is going to
Absolutely.
be?
The
So that you're
address,
building
the
that
date.
anticipation.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
super.
then, it's got little arrows and, and then the day of, that's when we may go and put balloons, or the night of. I like to do it the day of, get there a couple hours early. I just don't show up to an open house, 10 minutes before, or 5 minutes before the open house. I'm there a couple hours early. If I have to call a lawn guy, my lawn guy, everything's immaculate. Everything's set up perfectly. Not that you have to do that, but I spray everything off. Make sure the house is just gleaming, and that she looks like a princess. She's attracting that buyer, just saying, "Come on in and buy me." We have a lender on site, so we can get the pre-quad and
So you actually help stage the house the day of if there's things that need to be done.
well, we declutter and stuff like that
Well,
prior. But if we have to stage a little bit and move stuff around, we anticipate a big crowd. So
That's super.
and then if it's vacant, obviously we're going to do something to kind of give it a little bit more life, like bring in a little bit more color, maybe some fresh flowers. Or I love fake flowers because they never die and they don't take any water. So I take a lot of fake flowers and kind of put them in the bathroom and the kitchen, and you know, just kind of makes people want to say, hey, you know, I can really see myself living here.
Makes it more inviting.
It really does.
Yeah, super. Well, that's remarkable. Okay, Carter, you have been in the business much longer, so let me ask you this question first. About how many years would you say, based on your career in the industry, how many years did it take working just cold leads mainly, before a lot of your business, and probably I would say the majority of your business today, is referral based?
Yeah. The majority of our business is, although I think it's a challenge to go out and get more business, so it's fun. And I enjoy going out. I still do open houses, probably not quite as much as Devin or some others, but I still enjoy it, and I like trying to pick up a buyer or possibly a listing down the street.
You bet.
And so that's still fun for me, so I still do that. It was probably in the neighborhood of, you know, I'm kind of guessing going back, it was probably 5 to 7 years before it really got, for me, before it really got a lot of referral business. I would get some, but I was still building.
Oh, sure.
And I do a lot of mail, so that's still prospecting, and that's still new clients. So those aren't referrals, and we get those all the time.
Sure.
Through some of the, and I'll share with you a little bit. I think one of the questions you'll have for me is about budget and spending and advertising. I'll share that with you.
Okay. Would you like to go ahead and share that?
Well, sure.
Okay, as far as percentages or something, if you don't mind.
So I try to set aside 10% of our gross income for advertising.
For advertising.
And with that, I do a great deal of mailing, and so I have a number of passions in my life, and so I've connected them with real estate, and one of them is education, and so I support many of the schools in our area, and so that's been, I started out saying, okay, well, I want to advertise with them, and then it just grew and grew and grew over the last 20 years, and 3 years ago, I was elected to be a trustee for the Spring Branch Independent School District.
Oh, well, congratulations.
And that's been a big passion. So now I really support those schools, and I support them financially, and I love putting the money toward that, toward kids, and that's a big deal. And then we probably do a mailer, basically to the Memorial Spring Branch area, and it's about 15,000 pieces. We do that about every 6 weeks, I would say.
Oh, okay.
And that's a pretty big.
That's a pretty big mail out. That's a pretty big.
And then we do a number of, we're always on the school directories. We're always on different newsletters for sponsoring them for different neighborhoods and so on and so forth.
Wonderful. And Kevin, let me ask you a very similar question then, starting with, because all of us, when we enter the business, we all start out approaching cold leads. We all have to do a lot of prospecting and everything for business. But have you seen, in the few years that you've been in the industry, have you seen a shift from having to do as much, even though you never quit, sort of cold prospecting? Have you seen a shift in the percentage of your business that now is coming more from referrals from past clients and customers, or how long did that take for you?
Great, and that's a really good question. For me, I'm always working that pipeline, and I've got buyers and sellers and friends and family. I started out doing a little bit of advertising with some Zillow ads to help, accommodate bringing in some of that pull, that buyer power. But now I'm tapping into different aspects of my business. which is the investment side.
Ah,
So now it's strictly referrals. I don't advertise anymore. I don't do the mail outs. And that's another thing I was like, I always catching new ideas. Hey, what do I need to be doing? So I'm always looking for ways to better my game and better what I do. But there's so many, real estate is so cool. It's not like you just have to work with strictly buyers. You can work with sellers. You get to work with farm and ranch, which I've done a few. You get to work with land sales. You get to work with this. You get to work with commercial, which I'm about to start listing 2 of them coming up. So I'm tapping into all these resources of real estate that I never even knew that really existed, because I was like, oh, I'm just a buyer's agent or I'm a listing agent. Well, I'm taking it a step further. These investors I get to work with, they're awesome, because what we're doing is we're buying and then we're flipping them in 21 days or 14 days later.
really?
So now I've got a listing too, and I'm doing that double dipping again. But I'm working smarter, not harder.
Okay.
As far as marketing, like a budget, I think we're talking about a budget. Every day is marketing for me. Do I have a budget limit? I'll spend what I need to spend, how I need to spend it. So for me, every day is marketing. I'm marketing myself, passing out business cards. When I go through a drive-through or when I'm at the checkout line, I don't pass out 1 business card. I pass out 3. I have a rule: the greedy become needy, and I ain't greedy, so I ain't gonna be greedy with that business card either. Ask for it, Say, hey, if you're looking for real estate or you're looking to make money in real estate, give me a call. And by the way, do you have a friend or family member that needs help too? Ask.
Absolutely.
If you don't ask, shame on you.
You have to ask to get it, right?
Absolutely.
Ask to receive. I love that. Well, let me ask this question for both of you. And Carter, I'll start back with you. First of all, in all the marketing that you've done over the year, what would you say works best for you, maybe when you were starting, and then now more so for your team?
Wow, there's so many. I've used the phrase multiple touchings. So over the period of time in the last many years, again, in the beginning, I had, as most of us do, I had way more time and way less money. The good news is I have way less time and way more money now, but the time is a problem. So, I still do the open houses. I want to be in front of people. And that's it. It's being in front of people, however it is. Networking, being a part of the network group, being part of any kind of deal. I think that's to get your name out there and be in front of people. Then also, mail. And I think that's still important. And I've said the multiple touchings, and I've heard people say this. They see my ad in the directory. They get my mail piece. I advertise in our local grocery store. And then they see my signs out in the yard. And then they go, gosh, I didn't have a choice. I had to call Carter. And I said, that's good. That's good. So it's really multiple touchings, in my opinion, that get it. Which one's the best? It's hard to. It really is hard to measure, and we do try to measure everything.
Oh, sure. What works and what doesn't.
And we make a note in every file when someone calls, and it is. Oh, I saw your ad somewhere. I seen you here. So it's. What's the old adage? I think someone said it a long time ago. I know 50% of my advertising works. I just don't know which 50%.
Which 50%.
Yeah.
And in the advertising that you've done, Devin, what would you say has been the most successful type of advertising? And we may already know the answer to this, but what would you say, in your own estimation, has been the most successful?
Good old-fashioned relationships. I'm I'm not afraid to go the extra mile for my clients, as most people are going to say that they will. But what is the extra mile? You know, ask yourself, you know, what distinguishes a good agent and an exceptionally great agent?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to be. You know, when I'm doing a listing, I'm not afraid. I come with trimming shears and a chainsaw. And because I want to get the right photo, you know, for coming soon.
Oh, sure.
You know, I want things bright. And I'm starting off, I didn't have a lot of money, but I was able to look around what I did have.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's so much easier to call my landscaper and say, oh, by the way, you need to go to this address and this address and this address, and just send me the bill. Because my time now is worth so much more.
Sure.
But my clients love when they see a realtor that will take off his jacket, you know, and trim a bush.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they're literally, they don't know what to think.
Yeah.
And the humbleness of that I'm willing to help and do my job, and really get down and deep and dirty, of getting myself, you know, sometimes you'll see my hands all scarred up. It's a chainsaw and hedgers, but don't worry about it. It's okay. But I love doing that. Again, it goes back to, you know, why I got into the business. I got into the business to serve people. And that's why I love it, that's why I do it, and that's why I'm going to continue to do it and build upon that.
Sure.
But it's building those good old-fashioned relationships.
And giving that exceptional service to each and every client that you get the opportunity to work with is what creates referrals for you.
Absolutely.
From them. And you know, I know we always talk about what do you need to do to make them clients for life.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
those multiple touches so that they never forget you. That's the thing. So often I think agents will try to do like one contact per year or something in the hopes that that's going to be enough. But it's the multiple touches that Carter was mentioning, that you have mentioned. You have to do that. And I think you have to sometimes roll your sleeves up and get personally involved as well. To this day, I don't carry a chainsaw in the trunk of my car, but I have been known to have some hedge trimmers before, and I still carry a little clipper in the back of my car, even though I don't actively list and sell any longer. But for years I did that because I would do the same thing. If there was a bush that needed a little clip here or whatever, it was taken care of whenever you went and you visited the property. So
I might
that
add
is
something.
excellent. Yeah.
That, you know, many of us don't do a great job on staying in touch with our former clients.
Right.
And I think that's just critically important because you've got basically a bird in the hand, and that's real important for us to do. We've tried to do that, but you know, you gotta put them in your database and then stay in touch with them.
You have to stay in touch. And it's an easy thing to do today, especially with social media, as one of the ways that you could be reaching out to them. I didn't necessarily, I heard Carter mention it earlier, more at the beginning of our conversation, but what do either of you do right now as far as social media?
So we have a couple of Facebook pages. I believe they're in the process of developing a Facebook page for our property management. And
Super.
while I'm here, I might tell you a little bit about us. So Devin had mentioned that he works with investors, and that started our business too, although probably a little bit different than what you do. One of my friends encouraged me, if you're going to be in the real estate business, you got to buy real estate. So I started buying real estate early on, and then my friends and clients and acquaintances said, well, you know, I want to buy real estate. So we started selling real estate to investors for income purposes. And so that turned into property management. So we basically have what I call 3 buckets of business. We have our main brokerage business, and that's our main business, helping people buy and sell real estate.
Okay.
Secondly is we do property management. And so, and we're not a real large firm, but we do an exceptional job there in helping people manage that business and stay in compliance with code and treating the tenant like a customer and treating the owner like a client.
Like the client.
And then last is owning real estate. And that was the best thing I think that we've done, is started buying real estate early on. And I encourage anybody in the business, if you're going to be in the business, invest in the business.
Oh, sure.
Because
Yeah.
it builds wealth.
It does
Yeah.
build wealth over time. And plus, like what has happened with you, investing yourself led you to
Yeah.
helping others invest, and then that led you to your property management company.
Right.
So that's wonderful. And Devin, what about you? Okay, what?
Technology, it goes back to those building relationships the good old-fashioned way. You know, I always joke with friends and family, even some of my clients, you know, I don't know what Factbook is, or InstaSnap, or QuickBook. It's a joke. But because I don't do it. Is it another avenue that I could use? Yes, I hear realtors doing very well with it. But for me, I am my own brand. And I have to be out there. And I'm the one shaking the hand, and I'm the one closing the deal.
Sure.
That way. Can I attract business the other way? Absolutely. I hear it being done. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to probably hire agent operations to handle that part of the business for me, because,
Sure.
and then hire that assistant to actually handle that, because it's something I don't care to do, and I feel that my time's probably going to be better spent somewhere else. But I don't know. I will work on that, because I hear technology is the way to go. But I just like passing out them business cards and building them relationships the other way.
You enjoy rubbing elbows.
I
with
really
the public,
do. You know, some people laugh at me. I'm a hugger. I do the bro hug with all my male.
He is, by the way.
I do the bro hug with all my male counterparts, and you know, it's very genuine.
Sure.
And with it being genuine, and some of my male clients and realtors that have become clients and now are realtors, thank you. But they get mad if I don't give them a hug. And it's like, what, I don't get a bro hug? And I'm like, oh, sure, hey. You know, then it kind of makes, I'm like, wow, you know, this is kind of uncomfortable for me now.
Yeah.
But because I had that, I didn't do it, and yet I'm being asked for a hug. And,
Well, I think it goes back to what you told us in your profile, that you want your business to be personalized.
Right.
And so you have made a commitment, obviously, that you're going to make people feel comfortable
Absolutely.
when they're around you. So that's super. And you're right, you can outsource the technology aspects of the
Absolutely.
marketing to someone else quite easily and all. But let me stay with you for a moment, Devin, and tell me about how many days or hours per week do you concentrate on your real estate business?
Anyone that knows me, I work a lot. Start up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I try to get to bed by 9, but my phone normally starts really going around 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And I know a lot of realtors are, you know, well, I don't work after 6 o'clock, or I have a 6 o'clock appointment every day with my family. And I just want to say to all those realtors that subject themselves and limit themselves, thank you, because my phone is blowing up. I will pick up that phone every time. So I never limit myself. Do I vacation? Absolutely. I work hard and I play 10 times harder.
Okay.
So there is work and play. Talking about the outsourcing, You know, talking about the greedy become needy. I'm not greedy. If I can't handle it, I'm going to refer it out. And I have other amazing brothers and sisters in the industry that refer their business to me. And we do the hand toss or passing of the baton, because they're going to go on vacation and they know I'm going to handle their business well with their clients, and they're going to handle my business well. And that's the great thing about this business, that we're brothers and sisters, and we're an extension of the family. And hopefully, you know, with every deal you work, you know, you're going to learn something. Real estate, I don't know, I've done a lot of deals. And every day I learn something new. No two transactions are alike. And I get very humbled by knowing everything that I've got to do. But outsourcing, working with my brothers and sisters in the business, coming to a win-win is the name of this business.
Excellent. And Carter, let me ask you similarly, because I remember you said earlier in the broadcast that you're starting to slow down a little bit, and part of your goal in further developing your company is to have that ability. So now, at this point in time, how many days or hours per week are you devoting to the company?
Well, it's still more than full time, but so I probably spend, you know, even when I'm off, I think about business like most people.
Oh, sure.
And so I'm always trying to create new opportunities or think about how to do something in the growth of the business. And I would tell you that I'm probably in the 50-hour a week range, 40 to 50 hours a week. I try not to work too much weekends, but you know, we're always negotiating. We're always having to show. Maybe we accompany many showings, so we have to do that sometimes, but I do get help there. But I also have another full-time job that doesn't pay, and as I think I mentioned, I'm a trustee for the school system, Springbrook School System, and that probably it's a big commitment, and I would tell you that I'm somewhere in the 25 plus hours a week on that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, and there's always something to do there. But you know, that's a pleasure to do. It's you know, it's growing that. It's growing that system and trying to make it better. And so, and that's kind of, as I said, a passion. So, you know, I'd love to slow down one day with real estate, but I don't see that happening.
Well, you know, and when you get involved in the community to that extent, number one, you do it because you want to get back to the community.
Exactly.
But that over time also leads to new business opportunities as a general rule. And getting involved in any of the activities that charitable organizations and like the Heart Association and all, anything like that any of us can do in our own communities. And Devin, for you, those are the types of things that you can showcase yourself and your involvement on Facebook doing those things, because that will attract people to you usually as well. But I commend both of you for your dedication to the business and what you've accomplished and all. And I'm going to direct this question mainly to Carter because I think that you're not so much into the technology, but you're going to outsource that. So Carter, let me just ask you if you have put any new technologies in place in the last couple of years that you think have really increased production or just saved you time.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of things that I think we're trying to do, and I'm learning from my younger cohorts on things to do in many cases. The videos. I believe are so critical now.
Sure.
Technology is taking over our industry, and professional videos. You know, going into a house and doing a video of while you're in there, and maybe you have somebody with you, and highlighting that and then posting it. That's good. Doing a video for open house. Also, we've developed a proprietary email system that we send out to all the area agents, and we have different zones that we've done, and we hire a student during the summer, and then sometimes in the Christmas break to come in and help us with that, and to upload that. That's a great opportunity to hire a student. We have a great program. Got to mention Spring Branch again.
There you go.
We have a great program called AOF, or Academy of Finance. And these are young kids that want to get in business, and really smart kids. And so we get the opportunity to hire one of those or two of them and come in, and we give them little projects to do, and it's super successful. So we're doing that, and then again, I think I said Facebook. We're doing a couple different Facebook pages. The videos, I'm probably leaving. I don't do Instagram, kind of like you, but I have gotten to the point where I have somebody help me with that. It's just not my. Maybe I need to start doing it.
I understand. What about, because I know you do a lot of open houses, are you doing videos and things at this point in time?
I do.
I would think you probably were.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, working for an amazing broker, thank you, Jennifer Welch, she actually has a studio and a production company.
Wow.
Oh,
so I have an amazing broker. So when I say I don't do technology, now, you know, I'll post something, or I'll do this or that, but I just don't do a lot of it.
You don't focus on it a whole
It's
lot.
not, it's very low at the totem pole for me, but I do it. I just don't do a lot of it. I channel my energy elsewhere. Having the people, I already forgot the question.
Just technology.
Technology
video
itself.
or other things.
So having an amazing broker for me helps me, because they're doing that, or tagging me, or my clients are tagging me and sharing things. So I do know the steps and the processes. I just don't really care to do it myself. So when I do outsource, you know, I'll give them the admin feature and let them handle that portion of the business.
Sure.
I just see so many things out there that I get nervous because I don't want someone destroying my brand.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be political. I don't want it to be this. I don't want it to be that. I don't want to be. So I worry from that aspect. But on the open houses, oh yeah. In fact, I teach people, the new agents, how to do the little videos and stuff like that, and they'll go and post them on Facebook, and then they'll put them on the YouTube, and it's really exciting and fun, you know, to watch them and see what they do, because I'm always amazed. I'm like, technology is super fun, and there's a lot. Having an amazing broker, we have the best systems in place, where it may not be technology in the sense of Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or the different ones that are out there, but we have the best back agent, you know, the best back office CRMs that work for you and seamlessly work together. So my time and energy, when I do have my transaction coordinator and I'm just kind of looking, I only look at the history reports to see when she's really working. Thank you, Kathy Sage. A little shout out to you. You know, so we do have really good systems in place in technology.
Wonderful.
I just really, for me, I want to be old-fashioned.
You're more of the people person.
Right.
You want to get out there and shake hands. Yeah.
But finding a good broker or brokerage that has really good systems in place, like, you know, what you were talking about with your proprietary email and things like that. And for some of you that are looking for a brokerage, you know, look and see what they're offering you, because these are some incredible topics. And Champions has helped me ask the right question. I'm going to go ahead and shout out to my Champions instructors, to all of them, because they actually helped me. I took notes. I sat in the front row. I was always nervous. I took the person to the left and right, front and back, even though there's no one in front of me. But I take their name and number down. Because I was going through a hard, I was scared. I was nervous. I was like, Lord, am I going to pass this test, you know? But anyway, building those relationships. In fact, I'm still very good friends with the very first classmates I ever went with.
That's super. That's
and they're
excellent.
with Amazing Realty, by the way.
Another shout out to Amazing Realty. Carter, let me ask you, and we're going to be running a little bit short on time now, so a couple of questions I want to get in before we end. Could you pick out any single sort of defining moment when you knew you had made it and you could be successful in this business?
I'm not 100% sure of that. You know, I have growth. You know, I still need to grow, and but I would tell you that it was a real pleasure and an honor when honored by the Houston Association of Realtors and HBJ, Houston Business Journal, as being one of the top 25 agents, and that happened in '98. So that was the first time, and then it continued.
I started to say, I see you there quite frequently
yes,
in that list.
Yeah, and so, you know, it's morphed over the years. It was very interesting, and, you know, I think about my mom being in business, and when I first started, you know, it was a good time, I think, when I got into business, because it was, it had this, it was taking legs, so to speak, and, you know, you didn't have teams way back then, and you didn't have the growth that you see now. And so it's a great opportunity to get into business. So.
And I have to commend you. I didn't mention it in your bio, but J. Carter Breed team was also recognized last year as one of the top 25 teams in the greater Houston area by the Houston Business Journal. And I know that the list is about to come out again for 2018.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing your team's name there again, by the way.
I hope so.
Because I've been at many of those award ceremonies, and your name is always there. So you can be commended for all the work that you've done and how successful that you have been. So let me ask that same question sort of Devin then. Has there been a single sort of defining moment when you knew that, because you said you were nervous and all, but has there been a moment where you knew that you had chosen the right industry to go into and you could be highly successful?
Absolutely. For me, when I get to closing, you know, and I ask for those 3 referrals. Now I'm going to be calling you, and that's what I tell them. I'm going to be calling you. I'm going to need 3 referrals.
Sure.
I'll call you throughout the year. And I'll call, or they'll call me, hey Devin, my sister or my neighbor down the street needs you. They need you to help them.
Sure.
And give them the same great service that you gave us. And all I do is talk about you. You're the first name that comes up to mind with real estate. And I'm very touched and grateful for that. The other one would be when I'm working with, I'm doing a listing, or I'm going to a listing appointment, and, you know, for being new in the business, you know, you'll see, I'll go on a listing appointment, and I'll see mega producers, marketing materials, on that listing. And I'm the last one to show up. And I'm like, oh great, so-and-so is already here, and I already know they're good. But I'm amazing. And I signed that deal, that listing right then. And it makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
That, the humbleness, the genuineness, it came through. And I was just being me.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew that I was going to make it in real estate.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Very quickly, okay? And let me start with you, Devin. If you could give just one piece of advice to a middle-of-the-road producer on how to become more successful and go to the next level in their career, what would that be?
Dream big. Continue on with your education. Take more designations. Ask. Get mentoring and coaching. Went with more than one, but
well, that's
they kind of all go to hand in hand.
Yeah.
But dream big and definitely ask, and I think you'll go far.
Okay, wonderful. And Carter, what about you?
So I think that the key to our business is being noticed, is being out there. So get noticed and work hard. Many times I've said, if you get your license and sit at home and watch cartoons, you're a cartoon watcher. You're not a realtor.
Very good.
And so get out there and work. And there's so many areas that we can spend our time and money in prospecting and selling to generate that business. Because we've talked about some of those ways, whether it's mail or whether it's knocking on doors or getting involved with a charity or whatever. Those are all ways to get your name out there, and pick yours that suits you and pursue it. And I think if you get out there and be public, you'll be successful.
Okay.
And look out for that buyer or that seller, best interest.
Wonderful. Well, again, on behalf of Champion School of Real Estate, I can't thank either one of you enough for being with us today and for all the knowledge and experience that you have shared. So our sincere appreciation to both of you for taking time out of your busy days to be with us on the broadcast, because I'm sure a lot of our listeners have learned a lot from you, and they are perfect examples of designations and why you should pursue getting some designations, because it can certainly help you in your career because it gives you much more credibility as an agent. So certainly here at Champions, we're very thankful for all of you that tuned in today, and I know that some of my own students are going to be watching the broadcast later on because they signed up to do it, and they're in classes today, so they may not be seeing it this morning. But please go to Champions YouTube channel, because each of these interviews, when Rita conducts them, they're going to be archived on our YouTube channel, and so you can go back and watch previous broadcasts too, and learn from some of the best in the industry. So with that, again, thank you to our guests today.
Thank you, Becky, for having us.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure to be here on behalf of Rita Santa Maria, the founder of Champions, and we wish you all the best success in your own careers. Thank you.
Be a champion.